Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Baruch Hashem, you know, we should have a lot of mazal in this house. Bezrat Hashem. We will make today shiur. I'll speak about a few different things that maybe to wake us up a little bit from the situation that we live in. We have today 13.2 million Jews in the world, that's all. 13.2 million. From 7 billion people, only 13.2 million Jews. And from the 13.2 million Jews, at least 10 million live almost 100% like non-Jews. If you come to their house, you won't know that they're Jewish. They don't keep Shabbat, they don't go with yarmulke, they don't eat kosher, they don't dress like a Jew is supposed to dress. They have no connection. There's no connection. They have no connection to Hashem whatsoever. Nothing. Maybe once a year, when they have a yortzeit, they remember. So they make a meal, they bring the rabbi, he speaks 1 hour, and that's what makes them Jewish for the whole year. But the problem is that we all know that in life, when a person eats something that is not good, it kills him. When a person breathes air that is not good, it kills him. When a person goes and makes a sin with a woman, he later on has to murder to cover for his sin, to make an abortion. Every sin, every mistake we make in life, what happens? There's a price to pay. But sometimes we don't know the price we're going to pay, and we only find out the price after we make the mistake. Now, why people don't know? Why people don't know? One reason, not because they're bad people, because they are ignorant. They never learn. We don't know about medicine. Why we don't know about medicine? We don't read. We don't read, we don't listen to the doctors. We don't check. We don't know what the food does. We eat, we die. Cholesterol, heart problems, this, all kinds of problems. People who don't check the car. Don't check there's oil, don't check there's brakes, oil, don't check the brakes, never. The car has all kinds of lights, they ignore. One day, the car doesn't have brakes, they fall from a cliff and they die. And then everyone cry. Why? Because the person didn't check. Every mistake we make have a price. However, the problem is that the price is not coming right away. We make the mistake today, sometimes the price is 20 years later. We don't see the price we're paying. That's why we continue to make mistakes all the time. If we saw right away that when we touch the light on Shabbat, we lose our hand, and then when we touch it with the other hand, we lose the other hand, we will never ever violate Shabbat. Why? Because we saw what happened. All it needs that 1 or 2 people would do it, and they pay the price, and everybody would learn from their mistake. Right? Once people do not see the results of their actions, they continue to do it. It's very common when a person steals all the time in his business. Let's say he sells used cars, he all the time cheat the customers. It's a very good car, engine only 20,000 miles. It was 70, but he changed it. Very good car, look, brand new, he clean, he makes vacuum, he invests $100, he makes the car look like brand new. Customer comes, he asks him, you sure it's a good car? Yeah, you look, only 20,000 miles. Customer pay extra $5,000 on the price, and he's very happy. Every day I get fools like this, I make business. But he doesn't know that 10 years later he's going to have cancer, and he's going to pay $500,000 for doctors, and it's because of that. He doesn't know. Why he doesn't know? He doesn't know because he never learned the book of God. He never learned what God says in his book. If he would learn the book, he would know not to be stupid. In the end, he's going to pay for all the money he stole double. If he stole $500,000 in 10 years, he's going to lose $1 million. He's going to lose everything he stole double. That's what the Torah says. The thief pay double. Plus, it's not even his punishment yet. His main punishment is after he dies, that his soul going to have to pay for all the sins and all the problems he made for people. when the people's car break down, when the people find out that it's not what they thought, all the problems that people have and aggravation that they have, he is going to have to pay for every minute they were sad because of him. So his punishment is going to be very, very serious. Now you ask, but why God doesn't punish right away? I sold a fake car. Tomorrow I should lose the money. Today I stole 5,000. Tomorrow I lose 10,000. I understand. I see every time I steal 5, I lose 10. I stop stealing. I'm happy. Hashem happy. Everyone is happy. If that's the way the world would be, nobody would make sins. But nobody deserves to get a reward. What do you deserve to get a reward for? If you have a gun to your head, of course you'll be Shomer Shabbat. You deserve to be a tzaddik? No, you're not a tzaddik. You Shomer Shabbat because you know if you're going to touch the light, I'll blow your head off. You're not a tzaddik. You're the same Rasha you were before. Same wicked person. You just love yourself. You're egoistic. You don't want to die. Now when you light the light on Shabbat, or when you get into your car and you drive, you say, where is Hashem? The Rabbi is there. They don't understand what they're talking about. I drive 20 years. Nothing happened. Very good. I make all my business. It's I make all my business on Shabbat. What is he talking about? If I close the store on Shabbat, we're not going to have what to eat. That's how he thinks. But he doesn't know that actually he's preparing himself a very bad place to go. All the people in federal prison, 20, 30, 50 years, when you go and talk to them after they put them for life, what they all say, I wish I knew it's going to be so bad. I'll never dare to do what I did. Why they did it? Because everyone is sure nothing bad will happen. But that's stupid, because a smart person doesn't take a risk to destroy his life. But now I'm not talking about here. If a person is 40 years old and they put him in jail for the rest of his life, no. So he lost 40 years. Instead of living 80 years, he lived 40 years. No, Seder. We are not talking this very short life. We're talking eternity. After the person dies, his soul comes out and the soul lives forever. The question is where this forever will be. In heaven or in hell? If it's going to be in heaven, he's the luckiest person in the world. If it's going to be in hell, Auschwitz is a picnic compared to hell. Picnic. You know what a picnic? You know what the Nazis did to the Jews? The worst thing you can imagine. That's nothing compared to what happened to the Jews who don't listen to God when they die. Nothing. Sometimes they come back to this world in the body of an animal, like dogs, axes, all kinds of things. Birds, crows, snakes. Horrible also, because the soul suffers very much inside the body of an animal. Not because the animal has bad life. Maybe the animal have better life than people. He lives in a nice house, they give him food, they take care of him. What's wrong with being a dog if they give you good life? You have your own room, they take you to the doctor, he check you, you have your friends in the neighborhood, they take you out 3 times a day, you play with your toys. Very good life this dog has. Doesn't have to worry about the mortgage, problems, this, raising children, everything by him is fine. That's not the punishment, being a dog. Because really being a dog is much better than 80% of the people who live in this planet. The life of the people, 80% of them is much worse than the life of a dog or a bird. What problems the bird has? The bird has very nice life. Eating everywhere, nice, traveling, freedom, don't have to worry, don't have to buy a house 30 years, pay for the mortgage. Doesn't have all these problems. Or a monkey. So in a Bronx Zoo how the monkeys enjoy on the trees. A wonderful life. They don't have problems. They're not guilty of anything. They do whatever they want. So what's bad? To be an animal it's bad? No. To put a Jewish soul in a nefesh of an animal and put them together, that's a horrible punishment. Even worse than hell. And this is what happened for people who don't keep Shabbat, or people who lives with a Goya. He's married a non-Jew. That's what happened to them. Homosexuality, this is the biggest sins in the Torah. The Torah says, the Kabbalah explained what happened to these souls. Before I came here, I'm not surprised. It happens to me almost every week. Someone told me, he went to the cemetery, and right before he got into the car, 2 big dogs came and attacked him and almost killed him. If he wouldn't get the second before that to the car, the dogs will rip him apart. Do you think it's the first time I see it? Always like this. In places that people see Shiva, sometimes you come, you see a dog by the door. He's begging to go in. Who is this dog? It's the person who died, and everyone comes to cry for him. Hashem sent him back in the body of a dog, and he wants to come back to where he used to live. But the people of the family don't know it's the father, because they never learn Torah. If they learn Torah, if he would learn Torah, he wouldn't have to come back as a dog. That's very bad. So what I'm saying here is very, very simple. Whether you like it, you don't like it, that's the truth. If that's the truth, you might as well adjust your life according to the truth of God. Not me, I didn't write the Torah. If I would write the Torah, you can argue with me, maybe we'll make a deal. But the creator of the world made rules. You want it, you don't want it, you have no choice. You don't want it, you pay. You want it, you get lucky. That's what they say in English. You can beat him, join him. If your enemy, God forbid, we don't want to call Hashem our enemy, but even just for the argument's sake, if your enemy is much stronger than you have to be stupid to go against him. Look what happened to the Georgians against Russia. They decided to go into war against the Russian. What is their chances? They're lucky the Russian didn't wipe them out completely. Nobody can tell Russia what to do. If Russia wanted to kill all Georgians, they'll kill all of them. They're not afraid of anyone. They kill few of them. In the end, they let them leave. But if Russia went a little bit too angry, they'll wipe them out. They put an atomic bomb on them and finish them. You don't go into someone who's much stronger than you. You can't. If you want to go against Hashem thinking you're smart, you're only going to mess up your future, your eternity. Now, you have to know one thing. It's not a problem to be religious. The opposite is wonderful. That's what people don't understand. People think, you know what, okay, I'll be religious. I have no choice. I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to have cancer. I don't want all these things. So, okay, I'll suffer. I'll go like this. I go to the shul. I keep Shabbat. What can I do? And in the end, at least I go to heaven. So now I'm going to earn. People go to college 8 years. They suffer 8 years. Maybe in the end they'll have a job. How much they're going to make? 40, 50,000 a year. Like a taxi driver who came from Bukhara yesterday, doesn't know 2 words in English, they tell him drive a taxi. How much he make? Same thing like this lawyer or the accountant. 8 years he went to college. How much he makes? Most of these people who come after 8 years on college, how much they make? Nothing, almost nothing. Just a salary to make a living, if they can make a living. But why he went 8 years to suffer in college, exam, and learning, and getting up in the morning, and subways, and suffering, and all this? Why? To make his future better. He definitely didn't make his future better. At least he think he did. But why is willing to suffer 8 years? That the rest of my 20 years after that will be better. So I'm saying, if you think it's bad to be religious, sacrifice. Because in the end, the Torah promised that if you're righteous, if you're tzaddik, you go to heaven. If you think that it's bad to be religious, it's still worth it. Now I come and I tell you of someone who knows both sides. I know the not religious lifestyle, and I know the religious lifestyle. The religious lifestyle has a lot of better things than the non-religious lifestyle. Much better things. Much better family values. Much better life between husband and wife and the children. Much better children. Much better relationship between the father and the mother and the parents-in-law. The father, the mother has more respect. Much better values. Even though, unfortunately, in this generation, many religious people going down instead of going up, unfortunately. It's not the way it should be. The right way of the Torah is that a Jew should never be a thief. Should always keep Shabbat. A woman should always dress modest. A man should go to the synagogue 3 times a day and pray and say thank you to Hashem for breathing, for eating, for functioning, for giving him children, for giving him what to eat, for giving him a place to sleep, for saving him from all the problems. You know how many miracles we have every day that we survive every day? Just being a Jew in this world, every minute we survive, it's a miracle. Because we have 7 billion goyim, at least half of them dreaming to destroy us. Not all, but at least half. So that's more than 3 billion goyim are dreaming to destroy 13 million people. How the 13 million survive when 3.5 billion wants to destroy them? You know how much is 3.5 billion? It's 3,500 millions. 3,500 against 13. Cannot win. And most of them are very powerful. They have lots of weapons, they have the oil, they have the money, they have connection. The whole world. It's everyone together. It's not only the Arabs, it's the Arabs, the Europeans, many in America. What do you think? So every generation we survive is a miracle. We have to thank Hashem for that. But we don't. Whatever we get, we don't even say thank you. We live. When do we remember Hashem? In a hospital. Why? Why not to remember Him before we get to the hospital? If we remember Him before, we may not have to be in a hospital. Many people remember Him when it was too late already. Once it's too late, it's too late. When the FBI caught you already, it's not going to help you to say, okay, I'll be a good boy. I'll never steal again, and I'll give you back all the money I took. Here, take it all. I don't want it. Too late. They're not going to leave you alone. With Hashem, it will work. With them, it won't work. They'll destroy you. You stole $1 million, they'll take 10 million from you. Just the lawyers alone will cost you more than what you stole. That's usually how it is. And there's no mercy over here. No mercy. By the Goyim, it's very rare to find mercy in jails. Whether it's in Turkey, whether it's in Iran, whether it's in India, whether it's in Thailand, whether it's in America, whether it's in any Arab country. You don't understand what's happening there. You have no idea what's happening. And you don't understand how many thousands of Jews are getting destroyed there every day. Why? Because Hashem puts them there. Not the government. Hashem puts them there. Why He puts them there? He has His reason. Sometimes He want to wake the Jew to wake up. But we are stubborn. We don't learn. We don't learn. In the last 30 years, the situation of Israel became better or worse? Much worse. Every week worse than before. Worse. The Arabs getting stronger. Hezbollah, Hamas. They brought the Hamas from Tunisia. They're not in Israel. They brought 400 murderers, Arafat and all his soldiers, and they gave them weapons legally, and they brought them into Gaza. There's hardly any terrorists in Israel. There's few little not professional terrorists in Israel, and all the professional terrorists live out of Israel. Rabbi and Peres, the two genius fools, they decided to make peace with the lion and the tigers. The sheep is trying to make a peace with the lion. So he said to the lion, "Dear lion, I want to give you a piece in my backyard. We share together the same land. Come. Not only that, we'll give you weapons. We'll give you jeeps. We'll give you guns. We'll give you everything you want." They brought them in, and the problem began. But Rabin and Peres, especially Peres, are not stupid people. He's a very educated person. He has lots of college degrees. He knows languages. He read hundreds of books in his life. He speaks very nice. He's not a stupid person. How such a person did such a mistake? Or later Sharon. Sharon also wasn't stupid. How all of a sudden decided to give a whole town, one after the other, to the murderers? Why is it? Because the Torah says, you don't listen to me, the enemy who live inside of you will take you over. Where does it say it? In Parashat Bechukotai. You think Rabin gave it to them? You think Peres gave it to them? You think Sharon gave it to them? Every one of them, you connect him to a lie detector. Netanyahu, Sharon, Rabin, every one of them. Every one of this prime minister, he'll tell you, if I could, I'd get rid of them in a minute. I won't have a second mercy on them. I press the button, get rid of all these Palestinian murderers. So then you ask him, so why are you giving him so much gifts? He won't even know to explain why. Hashem makes it. When Hashem is happy with us, we win, like the 6-day war. When Hashem is not happy, they destroy us. Destroy us. But they don't only destroy us by taking the land. They destroy us mentally. You know how much taxes we pay because of them? All the taxes go to the war against them. 60% tax people pay. You work, you make $100,000 a year, in the end you're left with 40. 60,000 go to pay soldiers, tanks, oil, to fight, that you're able to sleep at night. There's a better way. If everyone will be righteous, we don't need this. Hashem will destroy them. Now Hashem not only doesn't destroy them, He makes them stronger against us. because that's his way to educate us. What is it like? A father that have a bad son, and he wants to make the son good, but it doesn't help. He tells him, he talks to him, nothing helps. So he comes to the gangster in the neighborhood. He said to him, listen, I'm going to give you money. Every time you see my son doing something wrong, come give him a big smack, break his bones. Give him hard time. Don't leave him alone. This father, love his son or hate his son? He loves his son. He didn't love him. He cares what he does. He can do whatever he wants, what I care. He doesn't want his son to touch drugs. So he take the gangster of the neighborhood and he say to him, make sure that every time he comes near the bad area, you come and you make sure he doesn't gonna get there. So this gangster, he gets paid. What does he care? He come and he makes him problems. Why he makes him problem? That's the instruction of the boss, the father. Why he's doing it? Because the father loves his son. Why Hashem send us all these monster murderers to give us hard time every day? Why? Because he wants to save us. But we don't get the point. So instead of making peace with Hashem, what do? We make army, we train soldiers, we beg America to give us $2 billion a year. We do a lot of things. We train pilots, we have Mossad agents all over the world. Why do you need this, you fool? Just make peace with Hashem. Shh. He wiped them out in a minute. Where does it say it in the Torah? It's not my opinion. It's all written in the book of God. God is not a liar. He wasn't in Congress and he wasn't in the Israeli Knesset. So far he's considered honest. Where does it say in the Torah? When you do what I told you to do, I protect you. Your enemy will surrender in front of you. One of you against 10,000 of them will be enough. But when you don't, you run from them even when they don't move against you. You'll be paranoid. I'm going to throw on you fear and confusion. Your enemy among you will rise and you will sink. They'll occupy your land. They'll give you a hard time. Why? Because you don't listen to me. If it wasn't in the Torah, then I understand why we need a strong army. But we have a better solution. Better solution. You understand? What's the better solution? What's better? It's better if the doctor proves to you that if you talk with a cell phone on your ear all day, it creates cancer in the brain. So far they didn't prove it. It's all kind of theories. But if the doctor prove it that it's making cancer, a person that does it is not normal. Why? Use an earpiece. Why are you doing it? You want to destroy yourself? So what? For 5 years he's talking with his phone like this. Then when he have cancer, he need chemo. And the chemo costs money, and he has to go to the doctor, to the hospital, and it kills the liver, and it kills everything else in the body, and he loses his hair, and he cannot come out of his house, he cannot get up from the chair. So what's happening now? There was a better way before. Just stop doing that and everything will be fine. So he does it first. Yeah, it's destroying the whole recording. Chaval. So stop doing what you do, because later to fix it will be 100 times harder and more expensive. Well, we don't listen. We only understand when we do something wrong and we get punched right away. If we get punched right away, we understand. If we don't get punched right away, a week later, we don't see the connection. Why is it? Because we don't read the Torah. If we only read the Torah, that's all we need. We don't need even rabbis. Just read it in your own language. You will read clearly over there that Hashem say, there is never, ever a bad thing happen to a person, Jew or a non-Jew, unless if he earned it. It's his fault. There is no suffering without a sin. But if you get suffering today, it could be for a sin that you made 20 years ago, 30 years ago. Just because you don't know doesn't mean you don't deserve it. So I have to understand one thing. Just because we make sins and so far everything is fine, it's even more scary. Why? Because if a person has comfortable life, knowing he's Mechalel Shabbat, then we know he's the most miserable person in the world. Why? Because when he dies, it's going to be the worst for him. If at least Hashem punch him here in this life, problem, doctor, surgery, cannot find wife, problems with children, lots of problems, then we know Hashem did not give up on him. He smacked him like a father who gives punches to his son. Wake up before it's too late. Wake up, wake up, wake up before, what? Before I give you one that you never get up anymore. Before I give you the final knockout, first I give you punches to wake you up. It hurts, but it's a wake-up call. If a person doesn't get these patches, then you know it's a lost case. Hashem put an X on him, he pays him in this world, nice house, nice Mercedes, yacht, some nice vacations, this company, a business is booming, then he dies, has no share to the world to come, and the problem begins. So as long as the person suffers, it's very good for him. Once he doesn't suffer, things working for him very good, then we have to cry for him. That means it's a lost case. You should know that's how it works. The Torah says, Hashem says, not me, Hashem, the one who I love, I make him suffer for his own good, to wake him up. If I would leave him alone, nobody would become close to me. Everyone with this nonsense. Once I give them smacks, you know, I want to tell you something. Right now, most of the goyim around us, at least in the Middle East, they hate us very much. In Europe, same thing. It's very hard to be a Jew in Europe. Even in America, it's very hard. You see, you go to places with the yarmulke, you feel it. You feel that how they look at you. You see, you go to stores, you see right away. Some yes, some no. But you feel it. You cannot deny you feel it. Everyone feels it. But the point is, what would happen if all the goyim would be very nice to us? Very nice. Treat us like the way they should. Technically, they read in the Torah and they believe in the Torah. The goyim said the Torah God gave to the Jews in Mount Sinai in front of millions of witnesses. The goyim admit. The Muslims, the Christians, they all admit. Only Jews have problem believing Hashem. The Christian and the Muslim, of course they know. Any Arab you ask. Did God give Musa the Torah in Har Sinai? Yes or no? Of course. He doesn't understand how he can even ask such a stupid question. Every Christian in every church in the world, tell them, God gave the Jews the Torah? Of course. The Jews are the chosen people? Of course. Who is your Messiah? A Jew. Nobody argue. Only in Israel. People prove to me. How do I know? Maybe the rabbis made it up. You need CDs. That's why I brought you CDs. You need CDs to prove to Jews that Hashem gave us the Torah. Yeah, like 15 years ago, Rabbi Gabbai wrote a book. In Hebrew, it's called Mesilot El HaEmunah. Path to the Faith. In Hebrew. Very good book. So, in the beginning of the book, he went to Rabbi Ovadia Yosef, which is the chief Sephardi rabbi in the world, and he asked him to write him a recommendation. So I'll never forget the word of the recommendation the rabbi wrote. The rabbi wrote, after he blessed him and all that for his good work, the rabbi said, "Oi to the generation that needs books to prove to him that the Torah is divine. How low did we sink?" In his mind, he didn't understand how can it be. You need to prove to Jews that we got the Torah. All the world knows it, but we have a doubt. Stupid. Why we have a doubt? Because we didn't go to yeshiva. If you went to good yeshiva, not every yeshiva is good. Not every yeshiva is good. Many yeshivot are worse than public school. Yeah, you should know the truth. Because sometimes he could be a rabbi with a yarmulke and a beard, but his mind is crooked from the Torah. Mind is crooked from the Torah. I even know one rabbi, he called himself an Orthodox rabbi, that he said that the world is millions of years old. He wrote a book. Why? Because the goyim say. So he tried to look nice in the eyes of the scientists. So he said, yeah, you know, it wasn't a day of Hashem, it wasn't really 24 hours, maybe it was thousands of years. He makes all kinds of things that he will match what the goyim say. We don't care what they say. We care what the Torah say. We don't care what the scientists say. We only have one science, is our Torah. What the creator of the world told us. The rest is nonsense. Whatever they tell us, we shouldn't be impressed by that. If it's matched the Torah, no, very good. So I can prove to you. You see, they found what the Torah already told us thousands of years ago. That's what I did in my film, Torah and Science. And you have it here on audio. You can listen to it in a car. Lecture number 1. 4 hours, one proof after the other that the Torah could never be written by a person. Only by the creator of the world. But the point is that after we got the Torah, every question we have, the answer is right there. Why don't we know it? Because we never read it. Anyone here can raise his hand and say, I read the Torah at least once in my life from the beginning to the end? Never. I never found one. You think you did. I prove to you didn't. From the beginning to the end, every word to understand what it means. Every word. Just the translation. Not the secrets. Not the Midrashim. Not Kabbalah. Nothing. Not even Rashi. Just the words in Hebrew, what it means, or in Russian, or in English, doesn't matter. Just the meaning of the words. To read and understand what it means. No, nobody. Not one person I met ever, not religious I'm saying, that really read the Torah once in his life. Nobody read the book of God and they have a lot of complaints against it. How can a person have complaint against a book he doesn't know 1% of it? Huh? How can I have complaints against something I don't know about it? I don't know about, for instance, about computers. I'm going to argue with a computer genius? I have to be stupid to argue with him. I know where I belong, and he knows where he belongs. I don't argue with him in something I have no idea about. Would I argue with a big doctor about medicine? No. Why? I know my limitation. Why anyone who never read the Torah once in their life, they think they know the Torah better than the rabbis? Why? How can it be? Every woman on the street who doesn't know how to read 2 words already have speeches against the rabbis. How? You learn 1,000,000 years, you won't get to their level. You learn 1,000,000 years straight, million, not 1,000, 1,000,000 years, you won't get to the level of this rabbi. So how do you dare to make a beep against him? It's not in your league. We that learn Torah, there's any door here? We that learn Torah, those who really learn, we don't dare to speak against the big rabbis. Because we know where we are and where they are. Who speak against them? People who don't know anything. People who knows a lot, never dare to speak about Rav Steinman or Rav Ovadia or Rav Eliashiv or anyone. Never. Only people who know nothing, they speak a lot. People who knows a lot, they know compared to them I'm nothing. I don't make a beep. You understand? It's like a person who goes to medical school first week. Today, Baruch Hashem, he knows what Advil does to the body. After 1 week, he knows Tylenol and Advil, he knows. He knows how to check blood pressure. He knows 5, 6 things. Then the biggest doctor in the world comes to the college. He gives a speech for 1 hour and he gets up. What? No, it's not acceptable. It cannot be. I'll prove to you you're wrong. What would happen to this student? I doubt it if they let him come tomorrow to college, to medical school. Why? No one will ever forget what a fool we have here. This is the biggest doctor in the world, 50 years as a doctor. You 1 week in medical school, you argue with him. But it doesn't happen. It only happens when it comes to Torah. In medical, nobody would get up. In front of a big judge, nobody makes a beep. Why? Because it's not obligating me. Whatever that happen, who cares? Torah, if I admit that the rabbi is right, I am finished. If he's right, I'm going to suffer for millions of years. I don't want to suffer. I have to prove that he's wrong, and I'm free. That's what it's all about. Instead of fixing myself, I have to put him down. But it's not only to not religious people, it's also by the religious people. When a religious person has problem in his life, instead of checking himself, maybe he's not honest, maybe he cheats in a business, maybe he doesn't keep Shabbat 100%, only 90%, maybe he's not a good husband to his wife, maybe he's not a good father, maybe he disrespects his in-laws. There's a lot of problems that the religious people have. Maybe he cares, maybe he listens to bad things, all kinds of things. So what does he do? Instead of blaming myself and say, I'm a loser, I'm not the way I should be, he takes his mezuzot to the rabbi to check. Rabbi, check the mezuzot. And he's standing over there begging in his heart that the mezuzot is not kosher. Why? If the rabbi check now 20 mezuzot and 1 or 2 of them not kosher, big deal, I pay $100, buy new mezuzot, the problem is fixed. It's not me. Much better to replace 2 mezuzot, pay $100 than to fix myself. What? To make myself hard-working person, to get up in the morning to go to shul, to sit and learn Torah every day, to stop cursing, to stop being violent, to give respect to people, to walk with yarmulke, to be proud to be a Jew, to keep Shabbat, to eat kosher. It's much harder. Better to change few mezuzot, Baruch Hashem. Problem is solved. I have a friend, he's a sofer. People bring the mezuzot, Rabbi, don't ask what problem. My husband sick, my boy, this happened, we lost the business, that, this, that. So the rabbi said to them, your mezuzot is kosher. How do you know? I didn't open it yet. He said, I'm telling you, the mezuzot is not your problem. Don't count on it too much. Yeah, sometimes the problem you replace. If you think your problem came from that, there is much bigger problem than that. First, you have to check yourself. You cannot replace yourself. Mezuzah can replace. Big deal. You replace the mezuzah. It's a few dollars and it's over. Can you replace yourself? You can't replace yourself. Nobody can replace himself. Even if you're a billionaire and you want to pay another Jew, listen, I tell you $1 million a month, you keep mitzvot for me. I won't help. It's true you can buy mitzvot. How you buy mitzvot? You make other Jews religious with your money, and they become religious. Every mitzvah they keep go to your account. But it doesn't dismiss you from keeping mitzvot. If you are mechalel Shabbat, and thanks to you 1,000 Jews every year become religious, you're making 1 billion mitzvot a year thanks to them. But you're still going to have to pay for your chilul Shabbat. There's no discount. If you steal, you're still going to pay for it. If you're doing this and this and that, you must pay for it. Nobody goes to heaven with stain on his soul. If the soul is dirty, it must get a dry clean. But it's a dry clean in a not pleasant place. You understand? The soul must get clean. If the soul gets clean in hell, you're lucky. Because that's not as bad as coming back in the body of an animal. It's much worse. Because after that, he's going to have to get clean again and again, few times until he goes to heaven. If he has enough mitzvot to go to heaven. Sometimes the person is poor. He doesn't have mitzvot. What he did? 1 mitzvah a week? What mitzvah he did? He doesn't put tefillin, doesn't eat kosher, doesn't have tzitzit, doesn't make brachot, doesn't keep Shabbat. His wife Christine, everything, nothing, one thing is kosher in his life. You know how many Jews like this I meet? Don't know anything, nothing. You keep any mitzvah, one? What's mitzvah b'chlal? They don't know. Bar mitzvah some of them didn't have. I always say, Baruch Hashem, there's pictures today. Thanks to the photographer, almost every Jew in the world put tefillin at least one time in his life. Some photographer already have tefillin for the picture. The father didn't buy him tefillin. But the photographer wants to make an album of the bar mitzvah, so he brings tefillin. He said to the boy, come on, Sean, or Tom, whatever his name is. Tom, come, put the tefillin on. So he puts tefillin, he takes pictures. The 5 seconds or 5 minutes the tefillin was on this boy, at least one time in his life he made mitzvah tefillin, if it's kosher tefillin. Most of the time it's empty inside, just for the pictures, you know. So when he went to the store, they asked him what kind of tefillin you want. He said, the cheapest one you have. He said, here, $250. What's with the other? This is $700, this is $800, this is $1,000. $250? It's good? Yeah, good. Yeah, give him something, supposedly. 90% machine made. Some Arab in Gaza wrote the Parshiyot. Yeah, the Arabs write Parshiyot, tefillin in Israel. If you don't know who you buy from, there's a chance that tefillin came from Gaza, or from Thailand, or maybe in China. Made in China. But they don't put on a tefillin made in China. You know? Now you open it, wow, beautiful, because the Chinese is a great artist. He has beautiful hand. But the Chinese got a copy, and he learned, he practiced, made in China. 500 Chinese sit, they give them $50 a month. All day they write mezuzot. Somebody smuggle it into Bnei Brak. It goes into the market. You want to buy cheap. You don't know who you're buying from. You go to a store, you think the store knows where it came from? You open it up, you check it by the rabbi, kosher. What? Beautiful copy. It's not kosher. You understand why? Because people are looking for shortcuts. Shortcuts usually never work. It always bring more and more problems later on. Now, one more thing. Every person has desires. Every person has desires. Not only Goyim, not only secular Jews, even big rabbis, even the chief rabbi of the world, everyone has desires. Desire for food, desire for money, desire for women, desire for honor, desire to control. Everyone with his desire. It's many desires. And it's not only people who don't have Torah have desires. Very, very big, smart people have desire. If a person doesn't have any desires, he doesn't need to come to the world. We all here because Hashem gave us another chance to come back in a new body. We were here in a different body before, the soul. And Hashem sent us back here with a free choice to fix what we didn't fix before. If we fixed everything, we don't have to come here. We don't have to be here. The fact that we're here, every one of us has to fix something. One is jealous, one is stingy, one is, angry. One has desire for food, one has 500 desires. Everyone with problems. So how does a person overcome his desires? The Torah told us. Even to make a sin, most of the time there's a kosher way. Most of the time. But the people who are not educated, they'll make the sins as they want. Why? Because they never learn. Do you know that every little detail changed the entire thing? I give you an example. Just one controversial example. Some women don't want to have children anymore. They had enough. They can't handle them. Especially when they spoiled here in America. They grew up like princess in a fancy house. They don't have the head for children. To force them to be a mother of 17 kids, it's just not going to work. She's going to kill herself. She can handle 7. She cannot handle 4. Sometimes, if you're lucky, she handles 2 and a dog. If you're lucky. This is made in America. So you cannot tell her your mother in Iran or in Bukhara, she raised 9 kids like a real soldier, and her mother 20 kids. No, forget about this. That's primitive days. People didn't have the life today. Your grandmother knew what the heels like this, to walk in the street like this with a Gucci bag. What your grandmother knew? Your grandmother was covered from A to Z, went to the wood, went to the lake, brought water on her neck like this, has chickens, give food for the chickens, sheep, cows. That's what she had. No electric. They lived in a village. She baked her own bread every day, not only on Shabbat. That's what the life was. And she never looked up to another man. She only saw one man comes in the house and whatever. That's it. That's what the life was. Now she went to college. She has a degree. She's driving a nice Lexus. They want her to raise 7 children. Forget about it. So what happened? Rabbi, I'm talking those who keep Shabbat. Someone who doesn't keep Shabbat, she can raise children. She doesn't care about her whole soul. How can she raise children? Look at her children and you understand what kind of job she did. 99 out of 100 are messed up. Abuse, lack of confidence, doing bad in school, disrespect, chutzpah, stealing, cheating, everything. Why? They look at their parents and they see that's their role model. You can teach your kids Torah all your life. If you behave against the Torah, nothing will help. If your son sees that his father is a thief, you can tell him 5,000 times a month, should not steal, and he sees you steal, nothing will help you. If he's saying you have to be a good husband to your wife, you have to be a good husband, what is he thinking? Who is he fooling? He was a good father, he was a good husband to my mother? No. So what is he preaching to me? It can only help him if you yourself do what you preach. You cannot smoke in a college and give a lecture. Cigarettes is very bad for the health. And right after that you go to the lunch break and you smoke. Everything you say went from here and came out from here a minute later. Why? Who is he fooling? But if you are like that, everything goes expressed to the soul, to the heart. Why? He's talking and he's also keeping. That's a different story. From him, I'm willing to accept correction. Why? He is working on himself. I allow him to work on me also. But if he's a crook and he's trying to make me honest, enough. Let's join together and be bigger crooks together. 2 is smarter, you know. So what happened? So she wants to use birth control. So she doesn't go to the rabbi to get permission, to tell him the situation. Maybe she has mental breakdown. Sometimes they give permission, at least 6 months, come back in 6 months. So what did she do? She used whatever she saw in the pharmacy. There is birth control that it's kosher, supposedly, and one that is not kosher. Both of them supposed to do the same thing for her, but since she never learned, and her husband doesn't know left or right, so every time they're together, they make a scene. So, or I give another example. It's also depend if they have at least a boy and a girl. If they have a boy and a girl, it can be much more lenient because the husband made the mitzvah of pru'urvu. They only have boys or they only have girls, they have no permission to use birth control. They have to have at least one boy and one girl. The rest is all extra. Minimum one boy, one girl. 50 boys, you did not make the mitzvah. 50 girls, you did not make the mitzvah. 1 and 1, you did. Everything else is extra. So every rabbi will ask right away, you have a boy and a girl? If yes, then we'll go to the next step. If not, he say, tell your wife to try harder. Come back next year. Unless if it's really a critical situation, so they give. But everything the Torah said, the rabbis is the authority, because they know all the Torah. And they know when to say yes, when to say no, and to who to say yes, and to who to say no. It's also not so simple. It's not a law that you got caught with a seatbelt, whether you're a man, whether you're a woman, whether you're 20, whether you're 50, same fine. $150, everyone pay, nobody asks who you are. You're smart, you're stupid, you speak English, you don't speak English, nobody cares. That's the law, you pay. The Torah, it's not like that. If your father is a Kohen, you cannot marry just everyone, a woman. You have to marry someone who knows Torah. You marry just anyone you fell in love with, your marriage will be horrible. Why? You come from the most important family in history. You're a princess. What do you think? You just marry any shoemaker on the street who doesn't know how to write Hebrew? It's not going to work. But your friend, she's not about Cohen. She marry an ignorant person. Her marriage can be okay. You see, here you go. Not every Jew is equal. Not everyone is the same. Also, if someone knows a lot of Torah, Hashem is much stricter than him. Someone is a total fool, he tries to learn and he doesn't understand anything, Hashem understands him. He looks at his sin differently. He doesn't look at the same sin of every person equally, because you know this person I'm expecting from him, and from this person I don't expect so much. Or this girl went to Bet Yaakov and they taught her modesty, and this girl grew up in a kibbutz. What does she know about modesty? So she keeps 70%, for her it's good. For her level, it's something. For this girl's level, it's a horrible sin. You grew up in Bnei Brak and you dress like this. But for her, Hashem is looking at it in a positive way. Why? Because you see where she came from. Her mother was naked all her life. All her sisters are naked. Everyone in her neighborhood is naked. She came from Moscow. When did she see modesty? She came from New York. She never saw modesty. But you came from Mea Sha'arim or from Bnei Brak or from Monsey. What excuse you have? You know the truth. So you see right away, the law is not equal to everyone. Also, it depends where you live. If you try to live to a religious area, let's say you don't have money, can't afford. Usually religious area is double on the price. You live by the Goyim, you pay $500,000 a house. Same house, same level, same area, same everything, but religious area, right away, it's $1 million. Very simple. Look at where we live. We're surrounded by towns of Goyim, but our town is Jewish, upstate, Monsey. What's the difference? Well, it's 1 hour from us to Manhattan, 1 hour from them from Manhattan. Same material, same houses, same area, same everything, same county even. Same house over here, $500,000, right here it's $1 million. And the taxes are double here than here. Why? Religious people, they have to live together. When you live in everyone religious, you don't have one car in Shabbat. It's very easy to raise children. The children see everyone is like this. You raise them in the area, Long Island, Queens, Brooklyn, thousands of cars on the street, Shabbat is a regular day, it's much harder. When you live in the area, there's no internet. No internet. It's a crime to have internet. In some neighborhoods in Yerushalayim, they have big signs. Yeah, we'll catch you having internet, we'll throw you out of the area. You're not going to be able to come into your own house. You're out of the area. We'll throw you out of the community. Cannot come to the shul, your kids cannot go to school. You're finished. So nobody has internet. And if he wants to have internet, he has to hide like a criminal. It's very difficult. So the kids grow up 18 years without internet. Do you know the difference between a boy who grew up with internet in front of his eyes to a boy that grew up without internet? There's nothing to compare. It's like a monkey and a person. Compare. Look at their behaving. Look at a boy who has Facebook and access to dirty website. And look at a boy who doesn't know how to use a computer. What kind of a difference in their spirituality? Right away. There's nothing to compare. You understand what I'm saying here? What we are doing, we are paying a price. You cannot get away with that. So I'm giving you an example. A person that wants to do a sin, if he knows a lot of Torah, he can do actually what the same thing, what he wanted to get in a kosher way. In a kosher way. You understand what we're talking here about or no? If a person does it in a kosher way because he knows Torah, it may look bad, but he never violated any rule of the Torah. Any violation of the Torah he did not do. The problem today that we have is many religious people do not know to tell the difference between what's really important and what's not important at all. So we find something very interesting. Sometimes you meet a person, he looks very, very religious. Look at him, hat, beard, this, Ramash, like a real religious person all his life. He will give his life for some custom that is not even a mitzvah. You care, you do it, you don't do it, it's not a violation, bichlad. It's good to do. Good to do. But nothing more than that. It's not an obligation, you're not doing it, you're not getting punished. He will give his life for that, and a minute later he will violate the worst sins of the Torah. And when you ask him, how are you giving your life for this custom, when it's not even mandatory, and here you do it 500 times a week, he will say to you, you compare this to this? That's a much more important thing. When reality is the other way around. I give you an example. You sometimes find a person, grew up very orthodox. His beard is his life. He will never trim one millimeter of his. You give him $1 million cash, tell him cut your beard a little bit. It's too long. Make it short, mother. You're crazy? I'll give my life for the beard. $1 million. You put all your kids in good yeshivot. You help them. They learn Torah all their life. Yeah, I'll give you $1 million. Trim the beard a little bit. No, nothing to talk about. 2 minutes later, he comes, he finished to pray Shachrit, he stands by the coffee machine, speaking 15 minutes, guarantee, every day, Lashon Hara about everyone he knows. You saw what this guy did? So this woman, what she did? You saw what happened? This, that. They say that he did this, they say he did like this. It's 15 minutes Lashon Hara. Every word of Lashon Hara, one word. You say about Reuven, I heard Reuven is a crew. You don't know. Maybe it's a lie. You're destroying lives here. You're murdering families here. You heard what happened? You know why they broke up? Because the father is too cheap. He didn't want to pay for the wedding. Now everyone in town will know it. Even if it's true, it's a sin. You ask him to trim his beard, he'll kill you. To speak Lashon Hara, all day he speaks. Sometimes I laugh. I go to some synagogue, they have a big sign. Over here, if you want to pray, you want to be Chazan, you have to have a beard, you have to have this stripe, you have to speak in a certain accent, and they have a list of things. None of the things on the list is important in the eyes of Hashem. The things that is important in the eyes of Hashem, it doesn't say it. It doesn't say you have to be a Shomer Shabbat. It doesn't say your mouth has to be clean, not to speak Lashon Hara. It doesn't say your hands has to be clean, you cannot be a thief. You come to represent us in front of Hashem, your hands is full of stealing, you're a murderer, you speak Lashon Hara, or you worship an idol, we cannot make you the Chazan. It's not what it never say it. What does it say? If you don't speak in a certain accent, you cannot be Chazan. If you don't have a hat, which is not even an obligation, b'chlal. The hat is not an obligation. Even a kippah, a yarmulke, it's not an obligation from the Torah. It's a rabbinical law. It started as a custom, only by the big rabbis, and later became the law. It wasn't a law from the Torah. Nowhere in the Torah it says a person has to put a hat. But for that they'll give their life. But for Lashon Hara, nobody cares. For murdering people, nobody cares. For cheating in a business, nobody cares. from stealing from the goyim, not only nobody cares, some of them say mitzvah. Why? Chilul Hashem, yeah, that the goyim see that. You know what happened in the Holocaust? After the Nazis finished what they finished, and the Russians and the Americans liberate the camps in Poland, in Auschwitz, and all these places, the Polish, the goyim, came with axes, garzenim, axe, and went to the Jews. How many hundreds of Jews survived? For millions, there are 3 million Jews in Poland. Few thousand survived maybe. How many? They came with axes and split their heads open. To kill a person with an axe, you know what it is? You take an axe, you hit him on the head split open like this. The brain, the eyes are on the floor. That's how they kill them. So they asked them, even the Nazis didn't kill them like this. They put them in a gas chamber and they died there. They didn't really did like this. Barely. How did you hate them so much? So they said, we had to finish the job. We couldn't let them go back in to take over in Poland. So they asked them, but why you hate them so much? They said, because they used to steal from us in a business. They used to steal from us in a business. They don't want them back. If they'll all be honest, they'll come to help them. Come, let us help you. The government will make rules. We'll give you back houses. We'll make shelters for you in the meantime. We give you aid from the government. No, we don't want you back here.
But what do you mean steal?
Steal, cheat the customers in a business.
If I
you tell them it's an 18 karat gold, you sell them 14 karat.
This is cheating.
Yeah.
If you buy diamond accidentally $500, it costs $5,000.
No, that's
and I tell you for...
Oh, you see, now you gave me a good example from what I've been trying to say for the last 15 minutes. Thank you. You have to know the rules. Sometimes you can make money from a stupidity of a person and it's not considered a sin. Sometimes you make money from his stupidity and it's a sin. Let me give you an example. Somebody come and ask you, tell me, the tuna salad is from today? Let's say you have a bagel store. Is it from today? It's from 3 days ago. You say, yes, it's from today, very fresh. It's a sin. You made a sin. Jew, goy, it's a sin. If he comes and asks you, the tuna is from today, you can say to him, the tuna is fresh, don't worry. The word fresh can be argued. Who said it has to be fresh from 5 hours ago? Fresh from 3 days ago, it's in the refrigerator. I would eat a tuna salad that was made 3 days ago if it's covered in a fridge. What's the problem? We're not that spoiled. If it's in my house, I eat it. Now, if it's in a bagel store, I don't want to eat it because I prefer something that was made an hour ago, of course. But it's not a lie. If I say to him it's fresh, and he doesn't ask anymore, I didn't make a sin. If I say to him, yes, it's from today, he's going to buy it, but for me, the money that I took from him, it's a sin. Gotta lose this money. Hashem will clean me from this money. And if I say to him it's fresh, if he asks me, fresh from when? That's a different problem. I have to say from 3 days ago. But if he doesn't ask, fresh, he understood 1 day. That's his problem, not mine. He comes to buy a car for me. He said, how is the car? I said, I'm not a mechanic. Take it to a mechanic and check. If he said, no, I trust it. It looks good. Okay, I'll buy it. It's his problem. The car dies a week later. It's not my problem. I didn't cheat him. I told him, take it to the mechanic. Bring an expert. I sell a house. Bring your expert. Check the house. What do I know? What, I'm an engineer? Well, check everything. Your house is in front of you. Bring your expert. That's the price. Same thing, diamond or gold. We buy gold. Everywhere you go, we buy gold. The economy is very bad. All the gold in the houses going into the refinery there. They make new things. So what happened now? A person comes to you and show you the gold. Whatever. Let's say the value of it is $1,000. You say to him, I'm willing to give you $500 for it. You didn't force him to say, take it or leave it. You want?
What if it's worth $500? Two different words.
No, it doesn't matter how much it's worth. You didn't cheat him. You didn't tell him it's worth 500. That's cheating. You tell him, I'm willing to give you $500 for it. What is it worth? It's irrelevant. It could be $1 million. I am willing to, for me, it's worth $500. Why? Because I want to make 500. Don't want to work for free. If he say, no, it's too little, no problem, no hard feeling. If he say, okay, that's his problem. He come back next week, say, hey, you cheated me. You gave me only $500, now I find out that it's worth $1,000. I said, I didn't cheat you. I told you I'm willing to give you 500. You could have gone and asked. Maybe somebody will give you more. I didn't force you to sell. So even to cheat, there is a kosher way to cheat, and you're not a cheater. You're doing the same money, knowing how to speak. It's a big difference. You have no idea how, when the punishments arrive, you'll kill yourself from not knowing Torah, not knowing halacha. Every clever Jew has to learn Torah just to know how to do what he wants to do in a kosher way. You understand what I'm saying or not? Because if a person doesn't do it, he does the same thing in an illegal way, he's going to get punished for it. Reuven and Shimon doing the same thing. He trick in a kosher way, and he tricks in a non-kosher way. And they make the same money. Why? Depend what word you use. Depend what word you use. You give $1 million to a person to open a business. He say to you, okay, I'll put the money, you put the profession. We'll be 50-50 partners. You say to him, אני ממנה אותך, I'm nominating you to be shomer sachar for the money. That my money will be in your hand as a guard with reward. And you take $1 from your hand, from your pocket, and you give it to him. Here, take the $1. And he took the $1, and that's it. If he loses the $1 million, he has to pay you your money for the $1 you gave him and one word that you say. You say to a woman, הרי את מקודשת לי, and she agree. She is no man allowed to ever touch her ever again. It's a married woman. That's it. Now if you're a bad person, you don't want to give her a get, destroy their life. Unless you die. It's a very high chance to die. If a person does it to a woman, usually it's end with a tragedy. And Hashem say, listen, the only way to release her from him is to kill him. We had a case like this. There was one husband who used to hit his wife for a period of 2 years and didn't want to give her a get. So in the end, they put him in jail. In Israel, it's not like here. Here, it's a problem because the Rabbanut doesn't have a power. They live in a Goyim country. They don't give the rabbis the authority like the court has. But in Israel, the rabbinical court has power when it comes to family issues. Divorce and marriage. They have power. So if the husband doesn't want to divorce his wife, doesn't want to give her a get, they can put him in jail. They can get his driver's license away. They can take his passport away. He cannot leave the country. They give him hard time to put pressure on him to give her the divorce, that she won't get stuck. So they put him in jail. 2 years is in jail. He doesn't want to give her a get. Doesn't want to give her a get. What happened? He got a disease and he died. That was the only way for her to get a get. Without it, he would say, I'll stay in jail for the rest of my life and I would not give her a get. That's a dirty person. How much revenge you can have again? Why did she do that? She wasn't a good wife. She disrespected you. She cursed you. She insulted you. She cheated you. Whatever she did. 1 year you're angry. Let it go. There's a boss to the world. Everyone gets what they deserve in the end. You don't need to be God. But people sometimes never forget. There's two kinds of people. There's people who get hurt, but they forget fast and easy. They let go. And there are people, for every little thing, they will hate you for the rest of your life. 30 years later, they still hate you. 30 years later. Every day they say, Chatati, Avinu, Pashanu, like this. They expect Hashem to forgive them. But one person stole $100 from them when they used to be in Russia. They're already 30 years in America. Why do you hate him so much? He's a thief. Right? We made a business, he paid me $100 less commission. 30 years he hates him. But every day he stands in front of Hashem. He steals millions from his customers. Forgive me, forgive me. $100 he doesn't want to forgive. From this $100, he actually destroyed himself. Because everything Hashem does with us is measure for measure. When you come in front of Hashem, say, Hashem, you're merciful. Why you didn't have mercy on me? The answer would be, did you have mercy on Reuven? Did you have mercy on Shimon? Did you have mercy on Yosef? You didn't have mercy on anyone. That's why we don't have mercy on you. You had mercy on him, you had mercy on her, you had mercy on your wife, you had mercy on this and that, the neighbor. You had mercy. We have mercy on you. Measure for measure. You deserve to get mercy. Or you don't deserve. If a person sees people are crying, begging for help, and he doesn't care, When he's going to cry for help, Hashem doesn't care. מידה כנגד מידה, everything. מה נעשה? כל המרחם על הבריות, מרחמים עליו מן השמיים. Everyone who have mercy for people, they have mercy at him from the court of heaven. Instead of killing him this year, they're giving him 15 more years to correct his bad things. Mercy, that's called mercy. Should have been dead a long time ago, because the Torah says Mechalel Shabbos doesn't have the right to live. Someone who violates Shabbat is a bigger punishment and a bigger sin than to murder people. Most of the people who drive on Shabbat, they don't even think they make a sin. Ask a typical Jew here in New York. Tell me, do you know now you're about to start your car? Do you know that according to the Torah, and I can prove it to you in 5 minutes if you don't believe me, that according to the Torah, it's a bigger sin than going to shoot someone in the head now. It's a bigger sin without any doubt. Nobody can argue with this. No doubt. It's a much bigger sin. So he's going to look at you and say, you're not normal, you're crazy. You're comparing me driving the car and going to relax on the beach and somebody who comes and blow the head of someone, you're comparing me to him? How can it be a bigger sin, right? Good question. Why he's surprised? Because he's not educated. Maybe he's a doctor, but he's not educated in Torah. Maybe he's a lawyer, but he's not educated in Torah. Maybe he's the Prime Minister of Israel, but he doesn't know 2 words in Torah. We go by the Torah, not by our own logic. Our logic is 0 when it comes against the Torah. If it goes according to the Torah, our logic worth something. If my logic is against God's logic, my logic goes to the garbage immediately. It's not open for an argument. When the Creator of the world say, I'm getting married to my children today, to the nation of Israel. We make a covenant. We're making an agreement today for eternity, for generations. You're going to keep my Shabbat, you are Jewish. You don't keep my Shabbat, you don't belong to my nation. You die, you do not go where the Jews go. You go to a different place, I don't even want to tell you where. That's the deal. You're taking it? Everyone say, yes, Hashem, na'aseh v'nishma, we'll do. So the Torah says, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, and the nation of Israel observed the Sabbath, לעשות את השבת לדורותם, ברית עולם, to make Shabbat for generations, an eternal covenant between me and the nation of Israel. It's an agreement forever that I created the world in 6 days, in 7 days I rested. You must be like me. You want to go to heaven? That's the deal. You don't want to keep the deal? You don't go. No problem. But you are doing it for yourself. I'm not doing it for you. Many people say, how can Hashem give such a punishment? How? The answer is, Hashem never gave a punishment. There's no punishment. The word punishment is a tricky word. You know why Hashem never gave a punishment? Because if there is fire here, and I put my hand inside the fire, and I lost my hand, the person who put the fire here is a criminal or I am a fool? What's the case here? If I'll sue him now, someone made a fire in his fireplace, and a guest came to the house and put his hand inside and lost his hand. Now he took him to court. So the witnesses say that's the way it was. What do you think the judge will do? Dismiss the case immediately. He won't even go 1 hour in court. The 2 witnesses say, yeah, he went on his own and put his hand in a fire. You don't have any claim against the person who made the fire. What if, where the fire is, there is a gate that you cannot go in, and lots of signs, be careful, danger, don't enter, don't enter, don't enter, don't enter, don't enter. And he went above the fence and he got burned. Can he sue? He cannot sue. If the Torah say 12 times, Mechalel Shabbat mot yumat, a person who doesn't keep Shabbat will die in this world younger, and in the afterlife would lose its share to the world to come. V'nichreta הנפש ההיא מישראל. I'm gonna cut that soul out of the nation of Israel in the afterlife. And he went and violated Shabbat anyway, all his life. And then he has no share to the world to come. He got punished? He didn't get punished. It's reality. It's like eating poison. I'm taking poison and eat. Later when I get sick, it's not fair. Why I'm getting punished? I'm not getting punished. I eat poison. I'm dying. I touch fire, I'm dying. I play with bomb, I get killed. That's it. There's really no punishment. If Hashem did not say in the Torah, and it catching us by surprise, then I understand. The Torah didn't say, do this and this and that, do not do this and this and that. And then it happens to us, then we come to Hashem and say, it's not fair. You should have told us at least that that's going to be the price. But if it says the price tag, when you go to the supermarket, you take from the shelf, everything has a sticker. $10, $5, $15. You put it in a cart, you come, $200. $200? Why, you thief? You crazy? What do you mean? Well, you knew, when you took it out, you knew how much each one cost. Now you cry? That's what the Torah is. There's no surprises. You steal, you pay double. You betrayed Hashem, He'll bury you. What do you think? It's a game? You can't win. You can only win if you listen to your Creator. You go against Him, you'll pay a price. Now, let's finish. Just one thing I want you to remember from this. If you think that to be religious, it's a burden, it's a problem, you are wrong. It's great to be close to Hashem. It's great to know that you're achieving something. It's great to know that every Shabbat you keep, you just earn a lot. It's great to sit with your family, with your children, and sing and learn Torah and having guests and have every week a beautiful holiday. It's much better than to live like a goy and go and drive as usual. It's much better life. It's much better to be honest. You don't live with guilty feelings. You don't make other people miserable, and you don't have to pay double in the end. And the IRS won't come after you because Hashem wants to take away $1 million from you for the money you stole. So you are safer. You are better, and the money that you make is blessed. It will be enough for everything you need because it's kosher money, and you won't get cancer, and you won't have all the problems that you're bringing to yourself right now. Everything in your life will be better. Your children will go to better school, to better yeshivot. They'll come home, you feel the difference right away. Right away. Different, complete different behavior. Because when they are with many kids that are different than the way they used to be, in public school, everyone with a knife, with punches and curses and whatever happens over there. And you went into yeshiva, and inside the yeshiva, the kids are different, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I know a kid that was kicked out of yeshiva because he was saying, what the heck? They warned him once, he repeated it again, they threw him out of the yeshiva. Why? It's called menabel et piv, dirty language. It doesn't belong here. You understand? You go to public school, the teachers say it every minute. He doesn't say heck, he say hell. And nobody thinks it's anything wrong. Not to talk about all the other curses. You understand? You send your kids to public school, what do you think they're going to learn from their teachers? What? To be gay, to have ponytail, to have earrings. That's what they teach. That's the teacher, what do you think? That's half of the teachers are like that. And if you speak against it, let's say you heard your father speaking against that, how can you make such a scene? And you say it in front of your teacher? He isn't going to hate you for the rest of the year. Why? You're not open-minded. You have something against those kind of people. Why? You are the problem. You following something that the creator of the world say it's not right to do. You are the criminal, not them. They are very righteous. Let's stand online to get a bracha from them, maybe. That's what's happening in public school. What do you expect? Vinny, Tony, Williams, they all have knives, these things. You send him with lunch, you rob his lunch. I put a knife to your son, 11th grade, 10th grade, give me the money, I will kill you. What do you think is over there? Gangs. Bullies. That's what's happening. Metal detector in public school. If you are smart, for whatever reason, if you don't send them to yeshiva, keep them at home, it's better. Better not to send them to public school. They're only going to learn negative things over there. The history and the math that they learn, they won't remember when they grow up. None of it. In the meantime, the few years they're going to be there, who knows what kind of murderers and criminals will come out of them. Who knows? And don't show me that 5 or 10% of the kids who went to public school and turned out okay. We're not going by the 10%, we're going by the 90%. And I see these kids all the time. Put 100 of them, go to an average public school, put 100 on them in line. See what they are. They behaving or they don't? They cares or they don't? They see pornographic films every day or not? They using drug, almost all of them, or not? They all smoke cigarettes or not? They all beat up their parents or not? They all steal their cars when they're 15, 14 and drive under the influence of drug and alcohol or not? They cares, they cheat, they steal, they copy in the test, they put things in their shoes, all kinds of things, all kinds of tricks that they do. This is the monsters you want your kids to be? Or you want them to come with their eretz, with sfarim, dressing with a jacket, normal, like a respectful person, respect, they come Friday night, they stand in the Shabbos table, they behave, they never curse, no violence, none of these things. Get up early in the morning, waiting by themselves by the bus, go to learn Torah. Then you have to decide which life you want. Whatever you cook today, you will be forced to eat. Make sure you cook something delicious and kosher. Because in the end, we're all going to eat what we cook. Cannot run away from Hashem. Be'ezrat Hashem, I know I speak sometimes a little bit strong, but that's the only way. Speaking soft, there's no more time for this. We've been doing it for years, nothing comes out of it. People need a real punch to the face. Really, really, if I was a real tzaddik, I would take a hammer now and hit each one of you on the head. Yes, that's what I have to do. Why? Because if I see one of you is about to jump from the Empire State Building, and the only way to save your life is to hit you with some kind of stick on the head and put you to fame, and then later you fight with me in a hospital. But I know I saved your life. But the problem is I don't have the courage enough. I don't have it. But really, a person that is really kosher will never let his brother touch heroin or cocaine. If he sees his brother is about to touch the needle for the first time, he will let him do it. He will do anything he can to prevent him, even if he has to fight him and break his bones, and break his nose, and who knows what. He won't let him do it. If he says, okay, brother, I told you it's not good. You want to take it, it's your problem. What do you say about somebody like that? He doesn't love his brother. He doesn't care. If he really loves his brother, he'll lay on the floor. I always say to people, if you really love your parents, you will lay on the driveway when they come to drive the car on Shabbat. So you want to drive on Shabbat, go over me, kill me. Half of the parents would stop being Mechalel Shabbat. Why? Because they know, they will understand how important it is. You know, I'll tell you, we'll finish with a story. There was one guy who was about to marry a Goya, religious guy. Not Goya that converted, Goya that has no plans to convert. She's from England. And when is the wedding going to be? In England? In the church? In the church! Guy with a yarmulke. So they ask him, Moshe, how did it happen to you? She said, well, she was volunteering in Israel. I met her. She was too pretty for me. I never had a pretty girl in my life look at me. This Christine gave me the eyes. I couldn't help myself. What can I do? I'm in love. That's what he answered. He said, yeah, but it's against Hashem. At least let her convert, come. You know, and you marry her in a kosher way. There's nothing to talk about. Her family is very religious, Christian, nothing to talk about. The only way together is to do it their way. It's their way or the highway. So what happened now? No matter what they did to save the soul of this guy, nothing helped. So one guy said, listen, you cannot beat him. Join him. That's the trick. That's the trick. Let's tell him that we make him a goodbye party and invite him to the house. Buy him a gift. Before he leaves, we'll do something. So they invited him, said, listen, on your way to the airport, stop by the house, we prepare for you, you know, a nice gift and goodbye letters. There's going to be a few friends, we'll drink l'chaim. What can we do? You want to marry Christine. We cannot do anything. We might as well wish you mazel tov. He comes to the house. So guys, you have no idea how much it means to me that you're all giving me the blessing. So one of them come and say, listen, come, I want to show you the gift. We have a beautiful gift for you. You'll never forget us. So he brings him to the room. Just when he comes, he says, you see, open the closet, surprise. The guy goes like this. He pushed him in. He closed the door, locked the door. Locked him in the room. True story. It happens in Israel. He locked the door. He said, hey, guys, what is this? Is this kind of a joke? He said, we'll talk to you in 3 days. You have in the closet bread, food, tuna salad, cheese, tefillin, everything you need you have. Bathroom is in the room. You're not coming out for 3 days. He said, don't go crazy. I have a flight. I have 1,000 people waiting for me in a wedding in England. They said, let them wait for the Mashiach, not for you. You're not coming out of there. He's banging on the door, going crazy, crying, cursing, like crazy. They don't care. They left him in the house and left. 2.5 days later, they come back. It's already quiet. he missed his wedding. They open the door. He comes. He runs to the phone. He dies. Christine, don't ask what happened to me. She started to curse him. You dirty Jew. This, that. I wish Hitler would finish the job. Everyone told me, why do you marry with this Jew? But I didn't listen. He got the shock of his life. After he heard all these blessings, he hung up the phone and he came to his stream. How can I thank you? And they all hug and kiss and cry. You saved my life. I was about to marry the granddaughter of Hitler. They saved him. That's a good brother. Why? Who wants to fight with his best friend about things like this? It's better. Smoke my cigar. Mazel tov. Good luck to you. It's his life. What do I care? We told him. You don't want to listen. You want to learn the hard way. Learn the hard way. We'll be happy to see you suffering because you deserve it. No? Most people, that's the way they think. I told him. It's his problem. Doesn't want to listen. Like they say in the Israeli army, what doesn't come through the head, comes through the legs. If we tell you and you understand, you don't have to run all night. You don't understand, you run all night. Tomorrow when we tell you sit, get up, go, come back, 60 seconds, you understand. When do you understand? After you ran all night. When you just got an order, you didn't understand. After you ran all night, tomorrow, that's it. We never have to tell you something twice, because you got it, through the legs. So, they cared. And they did something extreme. And they saved the soul of this kid. That's what's happening today. We lose thousands of Jews all over the world every year from intermarriage.
One question.
Yeah.
How often can you visit cemetery?
But the truth is, it's better never to go to the cemetery. Never. Never to enter the cemetery. Women for sure never. Men, if they have to go to their father or mother's yahrzeit, only once a year. But it's better never to go into the cemetery. Only bad comes from that, nothing good. Better not to enter over there for many reasons. There's impurity, if a person is wasting seeds, so there's a lot of Hashem Yerachem Mezikim that can take revenge against him. All kinds of problems in a cemetery, better not to go. You know, if a person feels bad from his parents, or the parents especially ask to come every year, then he wants to go, so he goes once a year to the yahrzeit, that's it. And short as possible, go in, Kaddish, 10 people, and goodbye. Not to stay there. It's not a Hilton hotel, you know, a cemetery. It's not a place we want to be in. You understand? But if a person has a choice to live across the street from a cemetery or across the street from the beach, where should he live? Across the street from the cemetery. Because on the beach everyone is young and tan and driving and surfing. It doesn't remind you where we're going. When you look at all the graves, you say, oh, look where I'm heading. So it makes you a tzaddik. So at least your view will make you closer to Hashem, because you remember where we're going to end. You see everyone on the beach, it makes you forget what's going to happen. Look, everyone is enjoying. You understand? Now I want to finish. Be'emet, everyone, you should know. I brought you 3 CDs here. Take it. It's MP3 in a car. Many lectures on each one. I want everyone to listen, but not only to listen and to do. To listen and to change. Bezrat Hashem. Any questions you have, you can ask me now after that. It's all in English. This is the Hebrew ones, it's right here. That's Hebrew also. That's all English. Right here. Please everyone take one of each. Start to listen, and whatever you listen, to do. That's what the Torah says. To learn, to listen, to learn, and to do all my mitzvot. Not just to learn. Rabbi, I know everything. Be'emet, I know. So why don't you keep? That's the question. Why don't you keep? Why? Because you don't believe that Hashem is real? Why? You don't believe that what He says in the Torah is real? When He says, I'm going to pay you a huge reward, you don't believe Him? You believe your boss that He will pay you in the end of the week, but you don't believe Hashem? Why you believe your boss? Maybe he'll cheat you. He make you work all week and in the end won't pay you. When you get a new job, they make you work for 1 month. They don't pay you yet. How do you know? Maybe after 25 days they tell you, very bad for us, you made us a big damage, goodbye. How do you know? You trust them. You trust the government to return you in your tax return. You trust all kinds of things, but you don't trust the real one you should trust. Life with faith to Hashem and life without faith is nothing to compare. People who don't have an emunah in Hashem, all of them miserable, depressed, have problems. Their mind is non-stop worry because they don't have who to lean on. They don't have who to count on. But someone who has Hashem, such a relaxation, such a it's like a mamash, a life-saving. It's a brief, it's a person can breathe. Why? Because whatever I'm doing, Hashem is watching me, Hashem is helping me, because I rely on Him. Person who doesn't have Hashem, everything has to do on his own. A person who has emunah in Hashem, not only Hashem helps him, Hashem enjoys to help him more. Because Hashem said, the more you trust me, the more I'll do for you. The more you trust yourself, the more you'll do for yourself. You choose if you want to count on yourself or on the Creator of the world. Yes?
I'll ask you a question. A lot of times I watch your lectures, you always say that when a person sins, they come back to life again.
Yeah, you didn't watch my Life After Life film?
When does that cycle end? I mean, they sin, they come back to life, they sin again, they come back to life again.
It's not endless.
Anytime you come back.
No, some people don't come anymore. They already doesn't come, that's it.
No, but a lot of times you say that the person in this life he has, let's say, he's a jealous person, he comes back to life, he has to fix that problem.
Yeah.
He comes back, he fixes jealousy, but now he has a new problem.
It's limited. No. I always say clearly, what you corrected already, that's it. You will never come back with that. If you were jealous in your previous life and you stop, when you come back to the world, you come without desire to be jealous. If you are angry and you fix it, you're born very relaxed person because you fixed it. If you're a generous person, you will always be generous. You're not going to come back stingy. Whatever you have negative in you, that's a clear indication that you did not fix it yet.
So eventually you come back as a perfect person.
No, you don't need to come back. If you're perfect, you go where the Baba Sali and Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai and all the Rabbi Nishchai. You're going to be in a good company. Believe me, much better than to drive here in LA every day. You'll be in a better place. Thank you very much. And everything. Call to.